I'm Rob Sarney, and you're listening to What the Heck FinTech, where you'll experience and learn that FinTech is Fin Life. Let's get started. Welcome back to Part 2 with Siobhan Dulay. If you didn't hear Part 1, please go back and listen to it to hear Siobhan's journey and how she got her passion for innovation and entrepreneurship, from being a founder to the CEO of Mass Challenge to now innovating with students at Boston University. Yeah, no, I say everyone's a fintech person, right? In my opinion, right? Fintech is fin life. Every company's a fintech company. Even if you're a landscaping company, you're doing some level of fintech in there, whether it's simply as receiving, and then moving your payments to your bank. And that could be and that's sometimes as definitely a critical part of your business, right? You got to receive money, and I say this at WPI all the time. I go, because in academia, they'll get really into the theory, and I love that, right? You need that. That's a huge part of the equation. But if you don't bring back what's the business value and then try to monetize that, right? Because that's why we're doing this. It's just a hobby. It's just a hobby. It's not. Right. It's not. It's you got to get that meaning. What's the best metric in the world? $1, right? Everyone knows if you say my company's worth $1 or it's worth $10 billion, right? Yeah. Right away, whoa. Or if I say it's worth $2 million, okay, right away you know what that means. It's the best metric, and you can monetize. I think, and a lot of people disagree with me, you can monetize anything. I remember one day, to take this even further, I had someone say, Rob, you can't monetize a hug. And I'm like, I think I can. If I knew the
free
data.
Hugs. If people offer free hugs, there must be priced hugs somewhere, right?
Right. But what's the value of, even though it's free, right? It took some time, right? So you had to time out of your day to have that hug, right? Yeah. But also, if I had the right data, and I knew the efficiency of the person before that hug and what they do, and then I had efficiency data, if I had it, I could say, yeah, that was an effective hug, right? Or it was ineffective from a business value standpoint too, because it made me more productive or excited or whatever it was. So, and I know it's an extreme case, right? But someone challenged me on that once, and that was my answer back to them. But so everyone's a fintech person. That's why that's this whole podcast is about, is that fintech is everywhere. Pretty soon we're going to stop saying fintech, and it's just going to be, it's fin life. That's what we do.
Well, exactly, right? You remember when people started calling like e-commerce or e-business. I have an e-business. It's like, come on, it's just a business. It's just this new technology, and how are you incorporating AI into your business? It's back room or front of room. So it's a technology that people use. So fintech is a technology that all business use. It's something, So the fintech is fin life. It's just another tool people use. There's still a financial services industry with high regulation and all that, but not everything fintech is in the financial services industry.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's in sports. It's in biosciences, biomedical. It's in every single industry, and it's needed so you can make the right decisions. So you can, and I always say it's all about frictionless finance. It's and that's to understand it, that's to smell it, that's to forecast it, that's to understand it. And then there's a lot of corporate operation. You're looking at operations. What are they looking at operations for? To increase efficiency. And if you can monetize that and tag that and have it flow like water into your reporting systems, now I call that corporate fintech, right? Which I did. That's what I did a boatload at in the corporate technology group at Fidelity Investments, right? It was that's what I did the whole time.
So let me now, if you don't mind, let's talk about the implications of frictionless finances. So because I see this a lot with students. So student founders now are focused a lot on financial literacy. And I was like, why is that? And some of this generation didn't have what I had, like a bank book. Or understand, or they haven't used checks. They get direct. So they don't touch money much. So they get direct deposit, they pay things with Venmo or Apple Pay, or they transfer things, or everything is done. So the financial literacy that comes with budgeting and spending less than you have coming in, sending out less than you have coming in, it is intangible in a way that it hasn't been for many other generations. So this generation is seeing their lack of financial literacy by failures, by financial concerns, by not understanding why they can't save or why they can't do it. It sounds so basic, but people are saying, 20-year-olds are saying, I just never had it, or I did. I was lucky. So this student, Maya, grew up in Kentucky, and financial literacy is mandated as part of the high school curriculum, which is great. It's not in a lot of places.
Right.
And so she's starting work to help her peers that she met when she came to Boston University that don't know how to budget, that don't know how to manage that.
Right.
So I was shocked by the number of students who are starting different ways to help their peers with financial literacy.
Right, right. It's so true. I mean, and that's a big part of fintech, the ed tech side, right? Because you see a lot of startups like that, right? How do you get people educated and be able to absorb that financial information in common sense terms so it's real world to them? They can understand it. That's what makes the fin side of fintech is all those financial terms. And then then you throw the tech in there's all these technical terms, like agentic AI, like, okay, I give up, right? So you got to make it simple to what it means to me in my life and make it fin life, right? Everything in life costs, right?
Yep.
Time that we're talking right now, there's opportunity costs. We could both be doing something differently right now, right? And the cost of this recording and everything, the ticker's going someplace all the time, right?
Yeah.
I could spend my time earning X amount of money or getting ready and getting trained or getting stronger so I can go earn even more money than that in the next thing. And it's a risk versus reward on every minute you do in your life, right? If you want to get that technical. But so yeah, and I see that too in the academia space, right? Because I taught personal finance. I have 26 different majors at WPI learning personal finance. And I tell them, I go, the math I'm going to talk about, you could do in your head. But your brain turns off. I tell someone all the time, your brain turns off because it's your own personal finances. It's simple, fundamental math. It's not even hard math for you because you're a STEM student that's doing, biotech or aerospace, and the math is like nothing for them, right? Or even actually financial math, right? So it's a learning curve for those students, right? And it depends how they grew up. Right. So I see some that grew up and their parents, were, CFOs or whatever. So they got it. Right. And they take their learning to the next level and they help the other students. Some of them. And you think about for doctors, right? They care about saving lives. Why should they? And they always focused on that. And that's great. But there is now, once they become a doctor, they realize, okay, this costs a lot. My insurance costs a lot. Boy, I got to worry about the throughput for my patients, right? In the emergency room. Ever watch The Pit? Do you ever watch The Pit?
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. When they talk about all the time, right? It's about the throughput, and it's a business side, unfortunately and fortunately, right? So there's so much to learn, and that's why it takes time to learn it, right? And my daughter says it too. A lot of her friends that she has that don't understand that stuff, but my wife and I were very focused on all that stuff, and we trained them all along the way when they were little, and give them credit cards and stuff, early, so to help their credit rating. So it's how you grew up too, and some people, everyone grows up differently, right? Which is a great thing because that's how we all help each other. Because not everyone, I don't know everything. I just know what I know is about this much, right? And I always say I'm not the smartest one in the room. I never am, and I never will be, right? So other people help other people. We all know something that the other person doesn't know. So I agree with you with that. That the ed tech side of fintech is a huge opportunity, and we have to get, and even economic side. Like you pick up the news and you hear all this stuff. People don't know what they're talking about. And what does it mean for the labor market? And what the interest rates changing? What does that mean? And until you explain it in simple terms, people you can see the light bulb go on when you use these everyday terms and not financial terms, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. It's hard for this because it is so frictionless, but they need to learn the fundamentals and why is it important and the time value of money. Once they learn time value of money, that simple concept, they're good to go on every single financial project.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I love that. Wow. So I'd like to pivot a little bit here now. Diversity, right? So I know you're women empowerment, right? Now you're doing something with Mayor Wu right now. You're on a committee. I'd like to hear about that and why is that important to what innovation, right? I have my own answer for that, but I don't. It's not my. You're the guest. But I want to hear the connections that you have with diversity and innovative thinking and the entrepreneurial mindset and women and all that, right? So.
Sure. So, big topic, but I'll focus. So, what I'm doing with the city of Boston is on the advisory board of WeBoss, so Women Entrepreneurs Boston. This is a redo of, it was in the early 2000s too. Mayor Wu's administration brought it back through the advancement of women, Offices of Advancement in Women in the city of Boston. So
Great.
We do a whole bunch of activities, including summits and smaller activities and programming and, to help women entrepreneurs. So I think that it's a big topic, but I'd say that it's a priority because the systems of support that have been created haven't traditionally been focused on the unique needs and support required for women. So that's why we're doing it. I'd say it, in general, diversity benefits diversity across all sort of layers, benefits innovation because you get a different perspective on things. And the people who experience the problems that are being solved are required to inform the solution. And that's why diversity is so important. Otherwise, we're solving a problem for one group. Specifically, why I'm so passionate about helping women entrepreneurs is because the funding situation is so dire. So I actually have the numbers here somewhere because it's so dire that I always forget what it is. I think I block it out. But 90 funding of 98% of venture capital dollars just aren't given to women. So that means 1.9% are given to women, and it's all about patent recognition. So fund managers try to reduce risk by looking for signals of what has been successful in the past. And when you do that, you look for patterns. And when you are looking for patterns from past successful investment, the data of past investments are homogeneous. So the past predicts the future. And when we're trying to make change, that gets in the way. So it's not as dire when you're talking about angel investments or necessarily other grants, et cetera. But when a system, venture capital, is slow to change, and our attempts at it have not been changing, that odds of matching signals and patterns, that it's low to change, especially when fund managers are more often white men, and the patterns of investments in the past, both successful and, by the way, unsuccessful, so they just look at that. They're not looking at the data that says, what are the unsuccessful ones? Oh, those are the same indicators really demographically of the successful ones, because that's all that was invested in. So anyways, it's about pattern recognition, and I'm trying to be part of the change that helps women entrepreneurs be successful despite this this lack of funding that we've been trying to change, and we haven't been all that successful.
Yeah, and we have that's obviously in fintech too, in all industries, but fintech too. I mean, it's we
Absolutely.
need more women. We need that different viewpoint. We need that. Yeah, it's so critical to have a great innovation. It can't be just from one group in any kind of demographic slice you
Right.
do.
Or
And
the solutions aren't as good as they could be.
right. Oh yeah, not even close. Not even
Right.
it's not that great of a product.
Right.
Now what's Massachusetts thinking about doing? Maybe you can't share that because it's all, secret squirrel stuff that you guys are talking about. But I'd love to hear. Like, yeah, I totally agree, and let's go.
Yeah.
But we need that help from the city or the state, or I don't know what the game plan is. Can you share any of that?
Yeah.
Or I don't know if that's even fair to ask.
Well, there's not one big silver bullet, right? It's so my part of what I'm trying to do with both the state and the city is support any plans that tick away at this issue. But
Mhm.
venture capital is all private funded. So, and there aren't policies in place to require anything. Um, Helping support alternative ways of investment. So, I'm an angel investor
Mm.
and I don't exclusively fund female entrepreneurs, but I happen to, my investments are only with women or people of color. It just happens to be. But I also seek out those opportunities and invest in those that are. So I'm trying to do my part. And other alternate ways of funding are through grants. So grant education, that's what part of what the city of Boston is doing, educating individuals, especially women entrepreneurs, on grants, how to apply for them, where they are. There's a whole bunch of bureaucracy, but you can teach that. So
Mm.
those are helping with angel funding, helping with loans, talking about what bootstrapping is. So those companies may not grow at the same rate as a heavily funded venture capital backed organization, but we can do something about that. So on the state and city level, those are levers that can be moved pretty easily. On the
Yeah.
other larger systemic levers, I'm doing what I can by supporting people like Allison Byers, who leads Scroobius, who is focused on changing the system through policy and through her company. So
Mhm.
we're doing what we can. It's a big issue that many people, you included, have been trying to solve or address for years. So it's not, it's more than trying to move an ocean liner. It's been really challenging, but we continue to try to help. And I'm trying to do it with younger people. So our gender balance, actually, the students we serve, I sort of get nervous if it goes outside of 60-40, 70. When I came to BU, it was about 70% male students and 30% female students. It's about 50-50 now.
That's
And
great.
that's not like, some things are things that me and my team have done, but some of it is just leadership. Seeing a woman leader attracts just like by modeling, I guess,
Yep.
uh, female students say, huh, interesting, maybe I can do that. So if you see all the leaders in different organizations, that just changing that and having people that look like you uh, will encourage people to try to take a risk or do something that they haven't done before.
Wow. Now I know you know the person I'm going to mention right now. I'm wondering if you collaborate with her, Professor Rosana Garcia at WPI Entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Have you pulled her into all the stuff you're talking about? Because she does deep research on everything you're talking about. That's her focus in life from a research standpoint is, venture capital funding for women, for all diversified groups, right? She's big into that. Have you pulled her into? Is she part of that team that for Mayor Wu or not? You should pull her
Well,
in.
so she will be soon. So for the city of Boston, she's out in Worcester, right? So yes, I know her. Yes, she's involved in stuff that I do, but not this specifically,
Yep,
but I'll
yep,
reach
yep.
out to her. This is why you talk to people and network, right?
Yep.
And learn more. Yeah. So,
We,
yeah, research supported. There's a lot of research supporting things and the change isn't happening. So even though there was, I think it was the BCG used some mass challenge data to show, I don't know where the data came from actually, so I shouldn't, but the study that talked about mixed gender founding teams are more financially successful than all male founding teams. So it's like, or
yep.
female-led companies are more efficient. That like there's data and it still doesn't change the system, so that there are cultural shifts that need to be made.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yes, it's so true. It's so needed. Because it made me think of Professor Garcia. I'm on an angel group, and she's in my same angel group. So she asks great questions of everyone who's pitching with us. And she'll ask really simple question like, "Okay, how many women do you have on your board of directors? How many do you have on your team? How many, So, just so she can get a feel for that, because that's important. It's important from that diversified thinking standpoint, and I totally agree with that viewpoint.
Cool.
Wow, that's awesome. So I'm going to do one last question for so for Mass FinTech Hub. What should all the things we just talked about, to make things more innovative? What are you thinking, and what should we be doing, and what are we already doing that is going to help with what we just talked about? What do you think?
Yeah, so Mass FinTech Hub has had diversity and different points of view at the head of everything we've done from the beginning. So I actually think we're really focused on all the things we should be. And I think what we're doing better than I've seen other like public-private partnerships that have fizzled out is we're focused in maintaining that focus. So what often happens is change, because it's a variety of individuals and organizations involved in public-private partnerships. And so much happens, macro forces, changes in leadership, people pull back from maintaining the focus and execution. We just need to keep doing that. It's hard. Like you talked about herding cats. It's cats and antelope and cows and fast horses and all that, like trying to get people focused and moving forward and actually executing is really difficult. Mass FinTech Hub has maintained this commitment that transcends organizations. You're retired and still working at it. I've been in three different organizations while I've maintained my focus on supporting this effort and those are just two stories of many others who have continued to do that. So I think that's what we just need to keep plugging on. The stuff doesn't change overnight. So you just need to keep doing it. Our plans are good and and they're not so precious that we keep them. Every year we learn more things and change what we're doing. So I think we got to keep on keeping on.
I'm going to give you another great name to pull in that made me thinking of the way you just frame things out. Deborah Jackson. Reach out to Deborah Jackson. She has educated me in so many ways, and she's been on this podcast. So I get another person. I think reach out. That's more numbers to help with and thinking and hustle and great excitement about that stuff. So that's another one that's popped in my mind. Might as well get it out while I can. Thank you so much, Siobhan. The topics, the way you hit it. I know we didn't hit on fintech, but we did. We hit 100% on fintech. What you talked about is absolutely needed for everything we do in fintech, and it's critical. The mindset, to diversity, to how do we figure this out? How do we collaborate? It'd be awesome. So people are going to want to meet you, talk to you. What's the best way for them to connect with you that you recommend? And I can put it in the notes, in the description of the podcast, so they can click on it and connect with you and do whatever. What do you think?
LinkedIn. It's the only social media I'm on now. I'm off at all the rest. I lurk on Instagram a little bit, but I'm mainly, and I view a little on TikTok, but I'm on LinkedIn every day. So hit me up there.
Okay, I'm going to put that link in the description so people can connect with you and join you in the great vision and what you've done this whole and everything you do that help the world, and FinTech will benefit 100% of everything you do. Wow.
Thank you.
Well, Siobhan, thank you so much. I can't wait for our 2026, what we're going to be doing together. We're going to, it's unbelievable. We'll be doing a boot camp soon at BU. It's planned. I don't know if you know, but it is. And we get the date. So we're going to have a lot of fun. So Siobhan, thank you so much. And thank you for being on What the Heck FinTech.
Thanks. Thanks, Rob.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to What the Heck FinTech. Make sure you tune into our next episode as we continue to interview FinTech leaders and share real-world stories from across the FinTech ecosystem, so you can fully understand that FinTech is Fin Life.